Okay, wow. SHIB has SHIB impressed me, I gotta say. I was not a fan prior to being listed on Coinbase, and even when it was, I kind of laughed and I said, I don't know how they pulled it off, but they pulled it off. Since then, I'm a price action trader, so I have to respect the fact that they have, a million plus followers on Twitter. They have their SHIB swap, they got their leash, they got things going on, they're burning. They're doing all the things to maintain. And some interesting notes, like they're the sixth most popular coin on Coinbase. And before this really broke out, and I said we were headed on a moon mission in my Telegram, this is what we were looking at. And if you want to join us on Telegram, you get these kind of call outs. I don't always make videos prior, just post stuff real quick. Right at 38.75, I was watching, I saw the volume come in. I was watching it for a few hours. I was curious if it was going to fade off. And I just knew. I said, this is it. And we're trading this price action. SHIB's on a moon mission headed for 0005, then stabilized, and then on to 000075. And that's what it did. And it did it even better than I expected. It actually overpopped quite a bit to 88, 89 area. And I think that's going to cause a little more pullback than I had liked. And we're going to look at where some of those areas might be. But man, I am super impressed with SHIB. I mean, they're sixth on Coinbase. What really made me notice that too and go look at the metrics was the amount of buys to sells. And it had popped all the way up to 80% buy and 20% sell. So I knew it was going to be pretty good and probably sustaining. So let's just, let's go ahead and take a look at the next. All right. So on the chart, right there was that candle we were calling out on. And we said, man, this is going to go someplace. This is good. And I've been looking at the price action for a while. And we charted this in the last video. And I'd said the same thing. Logical places, would be to retest that high listing up there. Sure enough, it did. I hadn't expected it in this push. What I really was looking for was the push to 5, like we charted off, and then maybe a little sideways, and maybe even some, pull off some consolidation, and then another ramp up to test into the 6s and in the 7.5 areas. Just blew straight past that. Just absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just great price action. The pullback, however, and I had said to the room, I was looking for, pullback to maybe 5 and stabilize. That overpop and that really sharp move to the exact test and reject, we might get a little lower. But looking at the follow-on price action, realistically, I mean, let's just look at that for a second. Let's just turn off the EMAs. Let's not look at the trend. Let's just look at the support and the res. It's pretty nice price action. It's pretty decent volume. And I can expect a sell-off like that, because it was just such a meteoric rise again. And there was a sell-off. People decided to take gains. I mean, how can you blame someone taking, 200, 300, 400% gains and maybe more from down below? Pretty good. But I mean, it stopped right at the areas we were expecting, right around 5, 4,900 to 5. And that was the spots we really looked at with that one down below there too, at like 46 at the bottom. I really expected it to pull back into here, but from the 7.5 reject and then on. I do believe the same thing I said last video, this is going to go and eat a zero. It is going to go on from here. The popularity on Coinbase, the metrics that I'm watching right now, I'm going to watch this for a little bit. And I was really expecting a little more, you get some little fractals coming down here. Maybe a settling at 6.4 instead of around 55. And then on up to retest, hopefully slip over and then go ahead and test really the underside of taking out that next zero. I think we're in a pretty good spot to do so. We'll know soon. But just looking at this off the cuff and like the support and the res and where it's wicking and soaking up, it looks really good. That's hard for me to say. Like, I was not a believer in SHIB, and now I gotta say SHIB could make it. The other thing that I thought was really cool in the last video was that I could see Doge people coming over. Last video they were like 14, 19, something like that. They were pretty far down there, but pretty big in the top 100 for being who they are and what they do, and just coming on the scene like that is, we're going to be the Doge killer, blah, blah, blah. Well, the other night they were 11 and Doge was 12. And then while I was watching the breakout, when it overshot, they overtook them by a significant amount. I mean, they had actually got on top of Doge for quite a bit. I think it's going to happen again. I'm surprised Doge had a run at all. Not a fan. Don't see any use in it. I don't think it's going to last. I see a point where people start to leave Doge and come over to SHIB. Minus Elon, I think Doge is dead. I don't think it ever had a shot, personally. That's just me, but I was wrong about SHIB as well, so I could be wrong about this. What I had said in the chat, though, was that I see SHIB becoming a top 7 to a top 5 coin, and top 10 for sure. Well, within the next day, it was a top 10. Doge, however, did get there. They bumped down USDC and a few other people. Realistically, though, by the time we go to test 0.00009 again, that market cap, once we slip over the 1 and reclaim it to 0.001 to 1.2, that puts us all the way right there, taking out Solana. Makes us a top 7 coin. As long as Solana doesn't rise, Solana could. It's a pretty good coin. I mean, everything else notwithstanding going up just as much as SHIB. But more or less, this is headed to a top 5 coin. The real question is can it take the top slot away from BTC? I think it can. I think there's going to be a spot, and it might not hold very long or last very long, but I could see SHIB taking a top 5 slot and potentially holding the top 1 slot for a little bit. I don't see why it couldn't get past there. That's really not that much market cap when you look at what BT is sitting on compared to SHIB and Doge and everything, and where they're going and where they've been, where they've came from. I mean, those were like sub-penny joke coins for the longest time, and then all of a sudden Elon pumped them. No one's pumping SHIB. SHIB's pumping itself. People believe in SHIB. People like SHIB. SHIB is good. SHIB is a good coin. That's hard to say. But realistically, that's the slot we're headed for. And we're definitely headed for 7 or 6. How soon? I don't want to say. All I can say is that it's got to cool off. This puppy ran. It ran hard. Puppy's tired. Puppy's going to take a rest. Hopefully Puppy coils between, 5 and 7 in there. Consolidates for a while, just like it did all the way over here after that last run that it had where Puppy got tired. Same thing. Puppy got tired, took a rest, Puppy ran. Those are huge when you scale down, but in comparison to the overall run, it looks like nothing. But each one of those runs looks like this run. Well, hopefully if we could go, let's see, what was that? Was the 7th to the 25th, and that was the 16th to the 4th. So let's say if we could get, 10, 15, 20 days of nice consolidation, and we stay up on Coinbase, 6th, 5th, and interest, and, more people are buying than selling, just keep eating that supply. You will see a retest of the 8, you'll see a reclaim, and you'll probably see about the 1-2 we talked about. We're going to go ahead and mark that off. That is where I'm looking for next after consolidation. Now, if things start going wrong, the entire market starts just tanking and letting go, it's going to eat those up, obviously, and it's going to come back down to probably like 1360. That is a real spot. And so is right there at about 3142, which would also be fine with me. I'd be fine adding in 3142 again for a long consolidation before another run, but this is definitely going to take away 1 or 2 more zeros. I mean, this is beyond a shadow of a doubt headed for at least top 5 and for sure top 7. There's no way this coin doesn't go top 7. It's impossible. There's just too much fan base. There's too much interest. Crypto.com markets them. They just picked up like Kim Kardashian today and all kinds of other celebrities. And all these people that have their own networks and their own followings in the multi-millions, people are going to stop scrolling. They're going to take a look and say, oh, what's Kim Kardashian doing? What's so-and-so doing? What's Mark Cuban doing? And they're going to look at this marketing, and the thing they're going to see next from Crypto.com is SHIB. And that's what they're going to know. And they've all heard about Bitcoin. They've all heard about the crazy rises. And now there's stories on Twitter about how some guy put $8,000 in and now he's got $5 billion. And there's another story, a guy bought $3,000 worth and he's got $1.5 billion. I mean, those are real stories. That ain't made up stories. So a lot of people are going to start to look at this and they're going to throw on enough DJ money to eat a couple more zeros, at least top 7. And again, I can see this going top 5 with where it's at with the marketing between Crypto.com's money being spent, the people they're onboarding, the celebrities, the people the celebrities have that follow them. It's kind of a no-brainer, realistically. Anyone that's hating on this, I don't know. I can't hate on it anymore. I'd like to. I'd love to. I'd love to see it fade off just because I'm not a big fan of meme coins. But price action is good. People that traded are good. It's in the right position at the right time. And it's going to make it. Like, there's just no way around it. SHIB is going to make it. It already has made it, realistically. I mean, it's 10. What's better? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance. The OG, with nothing going on the chain, did just money, ledger. Ethereum, which everything is built on. Everything else down here in this list, they're all tokens. They got their start off the back of Ethereum. Oh, what's that? Binance coin? Oh, they got their start on the back of Ethereum under a smart contract and raised money and then became Binance? That's right. They're their own chain now, but who do they owe homage to? Ethereum. Tether. Well, they kind of made Bitcoin. You know, there's a lot of pumping going on there, and they did a lot of onboarding, and they just keep printing tokens. You could just bump them out because, you know, let them back in them. Cardano, oof, what do you know? That's Ethereum after the split. So again, another smart chain contract. Solana, they're kind of their own thing. I got respect for Solana. XRP, that's kind of a joke, same thing, but you know, they're up there. People don't know that they're not a great coin. Polkadot's from that new era. And then Doge has no business being there other than the fact that some guy with a network, Elon, pumped them. And that's where we're at with SHIB. Who is pumping them now? Crypto.com. Who are they hiring for celebrities? Big name people like Elon. Not as big of a following, but big followings. Followings that, you know, they sell tons of stuff to these people. These people, you know, see them eating on whatever, you know, company, and they go out and they support that company because they support that celebrity. Doge doesn't have that. Doge doesn't have that marketing spend going on. They have Elon. Elon shot his wad. Now they're just riding that last bit of fame from SNL and everything else. But at the same time, people are going to look at that and go, ooh, what's this other coin? Oh, the Doge killer. Oh man, they're still sub penny. I could get some of that. How much higher can this guy go? I mean, even if this coin tripled to sub dollar, that's 300%. What did SHIB do last week? What's SHIB going to do next week? What's SHIB going to do after it takes its next rest? It's going to knock out this guy, come up in here and test this guy. These guys could be gone at any given time. Their stuff doesn't exactly work just yet. Could be, coulda, woulda, shoulda, maybe. Not yet. We'll look at them later. These guys, that's impossible. They'll just print whatever they want. This guy, maybe. He's under SEC investigation. And this guy, probably not. Everything is on ETH. I see ETH taking over BTC pretty soon, actually. I can't imagine a future where BTC holds on to the top slot when nothing runs on it other than it was first and it's got the name endorsement. But Ethereum, everything runs on Ethereum. You got a side token that, you know, is doing something amazing. Oh, you're Uniswap. Oh, who made you? Ethereum. Oh, you're Matic. You've got this great chain solution. Oh, who made you? Ah, Ethereum. Algo. Everybody is an ETH ecosystem token. I mean, pick one that's not Neo. Okay, cool. They're their own chain. They don't matter. They're nobody. I know they're on the list. BitTorrent, that's cool. They're you know, different chain. But for the most part, everything is almost Ethereum ecosystem that matters. So that's why I think Ethereum pretty much at this point is going to bump over BTC soon. And you're going to see other things that have big followings for no reason other than the fact that celebrities are endorsing them, and that's the next onboarding process. Good luck. I know I'm going to trade SHIB and make that money. I don't care what anybody else says.